Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery, putting together another quick video on a few of the Reate T3500s that I've done some custom work on. This is the newest of the Tashi Bharucha Reate collaborations. There were a number of different models that were kind of done up all at once, and then they did a staggered release. As far as I know, this is the last one that they have that they've shown any pictures of. So the T3500 is a bigger version of the T3000, and it does come in a number of different configurations. This one down here is the full titanium with titanium inlays. I have sold out of the brass inlaid versions. Then we've got the Arctic Blue Fat Carbon, and then the black camo carbon fiber. I was not able to get any of the red carbon fiber. This is a very limited run. A lot of dealers didn't even get a hold of these. So the few that I have is all that I will have the opportunity to get a hold of. And they've been selling pretty quickly. So if you are interested in grabbing a hold of one of these, I would do it while they're still available. I do not anticipate that there'll be another run of this version. This is probably my favorite out of all of the Tashi Bharucha Reate collaborations, between this one and the Future. The Future is a way back in the day, probably 2016, 2017. That was a really cool integral that they did together. But the T35 is definitely going to be the most recent of the collaborations, and probably my favorite out of the most recent. Definitely out of the T series of things. So we'll just kind of show these one at a time. I've already done a full video on specs and everything, so I just wanted to show you what this work looked like. This one has been polished out and given kind of a light satin finish with that nice Superstorm treatment. Storm on the pocket clip, bronzed on all the hardware, and then I polished the inlays, gave it the blue background, then took the blue off and did some nice bronze in that portion of it. So turned out very nice. Lockup's nice and early. Centering's right on the money on all of these. And very nice, crisp lockup. So that is the first of the titanium. Here is another titanium version. This one's got a little more matte finish in the inlays with the bronze. And then I went with a high voltage blue to teal on the background, and then the Storm, and then bronzed out the pocket clip and the screws. So that one turned out really nice. These are very cool. They are not an integral, but they are designed to look like an integral. Only screw on this side is the pivot, and then you've got the main screws on the back side with some milling to help reduce weight. So here is one of what they're calling the black camouflage carbon fiber. Definitely a lot of life in the carbon fiber. Now on this particular one, I did go ahead and pull the carbon fiber out and then storm treat the frame with a light satin finish, and then went with blue hardware on this one. Again, that nice crisp lockup and a very cool looking storm treatment that is a little fingerprinted up. As you guys know, I am a fan of fingerprinting things because I want you guys to see what it's going to look like when you get it in hand. Centered in nicely. And again, nice schwack as it locks up. Now this one is a little different. This is the Arctic Blue carbon fiber, and I went with a blue satin background. Then I stonewashed it because you've got two different colors in that carbon fiber. You've got a light blue and a darker blue. So the light blue is the finish I did for the main finish, and then I did the stone wash in the darker blue, so you get that nice two-tone effect. Pocket clip and screws have all been done in the darker blue, and then the pocket clip was stone washed and then done again in that darker blue. Again, centered in nicely. So these that I had to take the carbon fiber out of are just a little bit more money than the standard anodized or polished versions, just because it's a real pain in the butt to get that carbon fiber out and then back in correctly. These versions here have been polished. So I've removed the bead blast, polished it all out, and then given a nice storm treatment to the pocket clip. It really looks pretty sharp. And then I matched the screws to the blue in the carbon fiber. So you get a nice clean appearance with that polished effect. Now these are a little bit less than the ones that I took the carbon fiber out on, because I didn't take the carbon fiber out, I just polished it in the frame. And of course, all of these have a custom lanyard, as you would expect on anything that I've worked on. Here's another of the black camouflage carbon fiber. There's definitely a lot of life in that carbon fiber. Polished up. These really are kind of fingerprinted, but they look so much better without that bead blast. And of course this one's got a nice storm treatment on the pocket clip, and then nice blue hardware to give it a little more pop. So these are the ones that I have available currently. I am on my way to Blade Show here this afternoon. We're going to start driving on out. So I will be at the Reate table. I will be at the Sharp by Design table, not to mention quite a few more. Probably spend some time over at Liang Ma, Null Knives, Arcane Design. So a number of different people I'll be meeting up with, including Reich, and checking things out, trying to line up some new models, new versions for future product. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.